Possessed.
That was a professional-looking intro we have there. Thanks, Mike.
Mike's gone. Thanks, Mike.
Mike's left us to our own devices. It's a bunch of bullshit.
He's going to tend to his femur.
That's right. Well, thanks everybody. I don't know who all has joined or not joined yet, but
will we be able to tell?
I don't know. I think so.
Awesome. It's probably just going to be you and I.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. You got your drink there or no?
My phone is leaning against my drink right now.
Okay. Right.
We're running a professional operation around here.
So Todd and I thought that it would be fun to jump on real fast and kind of discuss our new album, which is coming out soon, and the CD release parties that we have coming up in Baltimore, the 10th and the 11th, and maybe take a few questions about the new album. And
how are we getting these questions? We can't see. Can you see?
Private chat and comments. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah.
How do we do that?
There's a private chat and there's a comments.
Can you still see me?
Yep, you have to. Yeah, we can see you. We can.
Okay, so now I'm reading comments.
Oh yeah. So yeah, so we just wanted to jump on real fast. So we just wrapped up the mastering sessions for Echoes Across the Hellscape, which is the name of the new Polkadot album, which comes out December 8th. But we're doing the CD release parties in Baltimore, so everybody coming to the shows in Baltimore can get an advanced copy, which is fun. So it looks like a lot of people are coming in, Todd.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. People saying they love the single.
Awesome.
Which is good.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites from the album, for show.
Yeah, I really like it. So, yeah. So, what's going on here?
Love the album artwork. How did you come to make it? That was a guy named John Colbeck, who has done. He did the first Polkadot Cadaver album cover.
He did.
Zombie, John Travolta, Saturday Night Fever, Purgatory Dance Party. Yeah, so I was perusing the interwebs and stumbled upon some of his stuff that he's been doing lately, and I was blown away by it. So, I guess I don't know if we had decided to change the album name at that point or not.
Well, I think it was all kind of part of. I think you disliked the original album name from kind of the beginning. I loved it, and you were not into it, but
yeah, I just thought it was. I don't know. I just thought it was a little like hokey.
Yeah,
and it's
the original name of the album was Shape-Shifting Reptilian Overlords, which is a song.
The original was Satanic Shape-Shifting Reptilian Overlords. That's
right.
That's what I was referring to, and I would tell that to people, and they'd be like, it's cool, great. And then when I would talk to those same people and be like, yeah, we changed the album title, they're like, good.
Thank God.
Yeah, I think Echoes Across the Hellscape is way better. So
yeah, super cool title. That's like it's a lyric. It's a lyric from
Emotional
Right for the Wicked, which like I mentioned that to Todd. It's just sticks with me every time I hear it. Like, man, that's a fucking cool. That's a cool name. That would be a cool album title.
It's apropos for the times we live in.
Yeah, and it works really well with the cover too. The art and the album name work really well together. So definitely. Yeah, nine tunes, 9 new Polkadot songs coming at you live. So what are we doing here?
So 25 minutes. The lyric video will debut on YouTube for "Where Do I Belong," which Josh, singer from In the Blind, put together. He's done lyric videos for us before, and he is the one who put together the Adultery Live thing that premiered a couple weeks ago. So he's a badass mofo. So, Yeah, in 24 minutes on YouTube, Where Do I Belong lyric video. I haven't seen it. This will be my first time checking it out. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Josh always kills it, knocks it out of the park. So
Always does something cool. So yeah, I don't think I've watched all the way through either. What I've seen of it is cool though.
Sweet.
You guys are great. I just saw you in Chicago and Nashville. New singles are great. Can't wait to pre-order. Awesome.
So when are we talking about? I mean, I know that the first single just came out, but I'm already itching to get one more out. What did we say? November 7th? Is that what we said?
Mike, chime in. Mike, help. There he is. What are we doing? Thank God for Mike, by the way. So Mike is helping me tremendously. Like try to keep the dates organized and the singles and ordering and shipping and all of the shit. So
round of applause for Mike.
What are we doing?
November 17th is your next single.
Is the next single, and that's Emotional Creatures.
That's correct.
I knew that.
Mike, when is my next dental appointment?
I think it's March 24th.
March 20. That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
Right on.
And that colonoscopy, when is that March as well? Because I get to take off work.
Mike, colonoscopy. When is it?
All right, Mike. Thanks for your help.
Thanks for nothing.
Real good, Mike. Is he gone again?
Yeah, Emotional Creatures. I think that might be my favorite album or song on the album. It's super catchy. It's a lead-off track. It's a banger.
Yeah, that's a good one. Absolutely.
Brian Freeman coming in.
Coming in hot.
Set up a stereo. Okay, Brian.
Dan Sorensen says, "Come to Brazil."
Right on. Yeah, man. So, yeah, this record it actually came together pretty quickly. It's in my mind, it's weird how sometimes how these things go. Like this one, it seemed like it didn't exist at all, and then suddenly it was finished. I don't know. Do you feel that way, Todd, or no?
Not necessarily. I mean, I think maybe because the majority of the material you had already sussed out, and then chipping away the guitars at home.
Yeah.
Maybe that is such a gradual process that it seems like, I don't know. For me, it was like 4 days in the studio, then come back. Well, I'm hearing some other stuff, so I come back. And then I'm hearing some other stuff, so I come back. It seemed it didn't drag on, but there was the time investment and it was worth it. It definitely, I didn't feel like we labored over it for a long time. We didn't overthink it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I honestly feel that way about Polkadot. Just seems to be that way, man. Like the stuff that we don't labor over maybe is the best. I don't know. Like, I mean, the whole Purgatory Dance Party thing. I mean, if that was the template for this band, because that album, we just kind of chucked a bunch of ideas against the wall and like just tried to see what the fuck happened with it. Or at least that was my impression of it. And I still to this day think that that's probably our best album. So
I mean, aren't we supposed to say that our latest album that's about to come out is our best
one?
Isn't that being in a band 101?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
but I remember
than anything we've ever done.
I remember the writing process for Purgatory Dance Party. I was sitting in the studio with Drew, and I was like, okay, I got this part, this like Slayer part, and then I got this part, reminds me like System of a Down a little bit, and then he's like, okay, what's next? And I'm like, I don't really know. I don't know, maybe this. And he's like, yeah, that's cool. And then he's like, okay, what's the chorus? I don't really know. Well, I did have this. Yeah, that works. Okay, what about a bridge? Well, this is something that I wrote like 4 years ago. And then he's like, fuck yeah, that works. So we'll go back to the chorus. And I was like, yeah, definitely. And then Slayer riff comes back. Like, it was the most like just like stress-free, like, yeah, I mean, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah,
So-
like dude, like Pure Bedlam for Half Breeds. I wrote Pure Bedlam for Half Breeds. It was halftime. It was half as fast as it is now. Todd's like, can we speed it up? We're like, sure. So we like double timed the whole thing. He's like, yeah, that works. And then we just wrote a bunch of guitars to that and fucking let it be whatever it was. Yeah, we didn't do that on this album.
I think the worst thing to do is just constantly overthink things.
I agree.
You know,
Yeah,
because
I definitely agree.
yeah, I think for the most part we've honed our creative, artistic instincts where you go with your gut.
Yeah.
And if you feel strongly that something's not working, which rarely happens, then you put your foot down. You know, but
so what do we do to pass time in the tour van?
sleep.
Yeah.
Well, you don't sleep because you do all the driving.
Well, I
Brian.
don't know all of it, but
Brian's either watching political shows on his phone or like in a comatose, fucking mouth wide open, like just conked out. zonked out.
Brian sleeps about 17 hours a day on tour. Like it's amazing how much that guy sleeps.
Yeah, I mean, I remember sharing a room with him a couple times on the tour when we got motels, and fucking like we're like literally he just came out of the bathroom brushing his teeth and he's like, oh yeah, South Park, cool. And then like 17 seconds later it's like and I'm like, I fucking envy that.
Me too, man.
I gotta do 3 sleeping pills, smoke weed, fucking sleep, 2 double dose of sleepy time hot tea, and then it takes me another hour and a half after all that cocktail to fucking finally drift off to sleep watching
How many hours a
Dateline.
night do you get? How much do you actually sleep?
I get a solid 8.
Yeah, right on.
But tonight I got to be up at 3:30 a.m. to pick some old folks up on Minnesota Key and take them to the airport. So that'll be fun.
Holy shit.
Yeah. But it's a 2-hour affair and then I'm done for the day.
So what do we have for questions here? The new song has a big industrial vibe. I dig it. Yeah, Brian, it actually kind of has like a sort of a 9 Inch Nails thing, maybe a little bit.
I mean, Where Do I Belong reminded me of 9 Inch Nails, at least the beginning.
Yeah.
And the first verse.
The rest of the record isn't like that, though.
Yeah, it's not like that.
Todd has finally ascended into becoming a grandpa with grandma glasses.
Hey, motherfucker, these are grandpa glasses, okay?
I hear Oingo Boingo sometimes too. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some Danny Elfman influence in there. Probably more so on, from my perspective, on some of the stuff on Sex Offender.
Yeah,
a little bit on
Waterhouse Striptease.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's Sex Offender and Last Call. Those 2 albums. Not so much on this new one.
Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward rock record, really.
Yeah, this record reminds me more of anything Polkadot has done. I think it's the most like Sex Offender in my opinion. It's like a cross between. No, it's not really. I was going to say a cross between like Sex Offender and Get Possessed, but it's not that. So it's kind of its own thing.
Definitely.
But it definitely sounds like Polkadot, which is good.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel free, more free to just experiment and see what happens with Polkadot as compared to DFD? Curious if you feel more pressure for making DFD and how the writing style differs.
It's all the same to me.
Yeah, I used to say like, it used to be that like from my writing process for a DFD song versus a Polkadot song is that Polkadot more or less usually starts with the keyboard part, and then we build guitars around that. Or at least that's how I would do it originally. Not so much now. It's sort of all the same. Like the idea with Polkadot, like building those songs out, is in my mind is like, man, we should have electronic drums here and like some sort of oscillating synth, like things that DFD doesn't have. And I think that Polkadot is definitely more of a straightforward sort of rock band, which I dig. So I think you would agree to that, wouldn't you, Todd?
That Polkadot's a straightforward rock band?
Yeah, I mean it's more so than DFD is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think there's freedom in both the bands to do whatever the hell we want. You know, I mean, the only thing that really separates the two of them, in my humble opinion, is there's a little bit more sometimes of a hip hop element in Polkadot, and also instead of organs or presets that Tim would use, or just straight up piano, Polkadot has more of a synthy kind of 80s vibe sometimes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, but I don't write lyrically. I don't write like, oh, these lyrics are more Polkadot or these lyrics are more DFD. It's just, you know, what if I come up with an idea, it's got a certain vibe to it, and certain lyrics that I have saved in my phone would work with that vibe. And whatever Jason might throw my way, I'll go, okay, this is a more of a serious song about heavier issues. It's not quirky or tongue in cheek. I mean, after 23 albums, you hear something that is thrown your way and you instantly know what the vibe is going to be of the song.
So. Right. Well, and instantly know if it's going to be something that's going to survive or not survive. So, and I think we've all gotten, I certainly have gotten less precious about stuff, you know, like if Todd's not feeling something, I mean, we're just move on to the next thing now. There's no shortage of guitar riffs in the world. So,
yeah, I mean, I think that like 85% of the stuff that you throw my way, like I'm down with, but usually like with the song A Dog Without Water in particular from this new album, it's just the arrangement is so unorthodox and the chords are like, there's a lot of notes going every which way. And it's hard to sink your teeth into a vocal melody that will work with the music.
Yeah.
And the arrangement is so wackadoodle that I spent a day on like 45 seconds of that song. Just like, how can I fucking make this work? Okay, I got these words, I'm adding these, I'm taking these away. How can I make the pieces of the puzzle work? And I remember texting you and be like, dude, I don't know. We might have to record another. This is fucking
and I was
ridiculous.
disappointed. I'm like, oh man, it's like, because like musically it's super cool. Like it's a different take. I'm like, all right, well, if it's not gonna work, it's not gonna work. But
yeah, and then you're like, oh man, really? And I'm like, all right, I'll get back to work.
It turned out great though. It's super cool.
That's one of my favorite songs in the album.
Me too. Yeah, it's definitely fun.
The bridge that I wrote that fit nicely between what you had as the second chorus and third chorus or whatever the hell surrounds it reminds me a lot of it. When I wrote that guitar part, it reminded me a lot of Radiohead, and then all the stuff that you put on top of it without me saying Radiohead sounds like stuff from OK Computer.
It does.
And I was like, fuck yeah, this is great.
Yeah, it's a cool section.
It's got a dreamy kind of like floating in space kind of feel, which is cool. So yeah, that I mean, for the most part, we didn't really like grind these songs, and it was just it was flowing out and it was going and it was working, so we just, you know, went with it.
Yep.
And it worked. So
I always thought DFD has a keyboardist, but Polkadot has more keyboards, and I love it. Yeah, so Jason, I don't know if you've ever seen us live or not, but so we have a backing track, so we don't have a keyboard player in Polkadot. I do all the keyboard parts, but I'm certainly not a keyboardist by any means. It's all like programmed synth stuff. So very little of that is actually performed. Like I can kind of do one hand at a time and make it all work. But then we just play the tracks.
That's your specialty, one hand at a time.
One hand at a time, baby.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, so that's pretty much how all that stuff works live for us. So, and we have done, Tim obviously is the keyboardist in DFD. So, anyway, sounds. So what do we have here? Always wondered what's the inspiration idea behind the use of deceased celebrities covered in polka dots for Polkadot Cadaver. I don't know. We just
it's the band's called Polkadot Cadaver, and I think the name came before the idea of like the people that end up dead and on the shirts and on the merch and on the poster are not people that we either celebrate nor condemn or are fans of or are critics of. They're just like pop culture icons that have passed with polka dots on them. There's really nothing more to it than that. But I think I don't know. It's been a cool merch avenue because we have a new poster coming out, which has got a lot of recently deceased celebs on it. So look for that in the Polkadot Cadaver new album pre-order. That when does that go live? November 17th?
Yeah, a week after the shows. So
the shows, yeah.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have those in time for Baltimore?
No.
Okay.
No, Dallas is working on the art. I think as we speak. I keep bugging him about it. So it's a lot of Photoshop for him to put that shit together. There's a lot to it. So, but yeah, hopefully he gets it done soon.
Yes, indeed.
So we have we're going to do 7 more minutes here, everybody, and then we hope everybody jumps over and goes on YouTube to check out the new lyric video. And also, if you haven't, if you're in the Baltimore area for the 10th and the 11th, we'd love it if you guys all came out to the CD release parties. So unique sets each night. It's going to be a good time. Tickets are pretty cheap, and they're available at razortourist.com. So come on
out and join us. It's the last shows that we're going to play for probably 6 months. So come one, come all. And you can get the album early along with some new merch and hang with us and have a hoot before the end of the year, and we ring in another one.
One more album. This is the one, Todd. I think this is the one that breaks us, man.
Oh yeah, I remember saying that in like 1999.
This is it.
This is definitely
the
one.
Yeah, absolutely. Smash
Things are gonna change for us now.
Galore. Only 23. I could have sworn it was more. Maybe it is more. Is it more? It might be more than 23, isn't it?
I think it's 23.
All right.
I mean, I'm including like I'm not including like live albums and EPs and I'm not doubling up on re-records and shit like that.
Yeah. What other hints can you give us about the sounds that we're expecting? Any hints about what the next single pre-release?
It's Emotional Creatures, right?
Yeah. So it's like we said earlier. I mean, I think it's more of a straightforward sort of rock album. But there are definitely twists and turns. There's a couple songs that are completely unexpected. There's a song called Mrs. Gore, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, everybody's like a couple people, well, not everybody, but a couple people have messaged me and been like, fuck yeah, is that about Tipper Gore? You know, the PMRC and all that shit back in the 80s. And I was like, no, actually it's about there was a show called Love and Death with Elizabeth Olsen, who's Mary-Kate and Ashley's sister. And it was about this woman named Candy in Texas who was married and ended up having an affair with her best friend's husband, and her name was Mrs. Gore. And so Mrs. Gore finds out about Candy's affair with her husband and confronts Candy in the laundry room of her house with an axe and a fight ensues, and someone gets butchered to death, and then the story goes on from there. But I was like, when I was watching the episode, I was like, that might be a cool idea for a song. So jotted it down, and it kind of wrote itself. So yeah, worked out good. That's the album closer.
Yeah, that one is the music for that one. Todd and I did a soundtrack for a movie a little while ago called Shepherd, and we had a bunch of ideas that were in the works for that movie, and the music for Mrs. Gore was one of those ideas that was going to be in that movie, and it just never ended up in the movie. So we changed it and elaborated a little bit, and Todd added. I had like a long composition sort of together for the movie, but it didn't have any lyrics, and it didn't really have a structure as a song. And Todd added in some sort of doom guitar in the middle of it, and obviously the
song needed
super cool.
Stoner doom metal.
Had to have it. What doesn't need stoner doom metal? Yeah, it was screaming, "Give me stoner doom metal." So,
yeah, it's cool because it's so different from any of the other songs that. Well, I mean, it's so different from any Polkadot song that we've ever done.
Yeah, I agree.
It's it almost reminds me of like it could be a sister song of Spirit Cooker.
Yeah,
The verses remind me of Spirit Cooker.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then
it's sort of a more digital Spirit Cooker.
Yeah, and then the chorus is just straight up fucking Sabbath.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a sleeper. Like, I wasn't expecting that to be one of my favorites on the record, and it definitely is.
Yeah, so if you guys want to do research on that song before it comes out, watch Love and Death. It's a mini series starring the guy that played Todd on Breaking Bad. What's his name? He's in Killers of the Flower Moon. Jesse Plemons, or Jesse Plemons, yeah. He's the guy that has an affair with Candy. He's Mr. Gore, but it's a really good series. It's really, really good. Yeah, there's the guy who plays Candy's attorney is the brother of Wendy from Ozark. That means nothing to anyone, but but yeah, I was like, who the fuck is that guy? And I was like, oh, okay, that's Wendy's brother from Ozark. Anyway, so yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. That's right, Todd. I didn't put those two together.
Yeah.
All right. So we have there's 1 minute here before the video debuts. We'll do one more question, and that will be a wrap. So if you guys haven't got your tickets yet, get your tickets. They're at razortowrist.com, and please come out to the Baltimore shows.
It's 2 weeks from tonight, right?
2 weeks from tonight.
Come on, people. Get a babysitter. Get a divorce. Whatever you have to do. Make it out.
All right. Have you just wandered around Baltimore looking at locations from The Wire? Yeah, actually, we lived in that neighborhood. So the Pearson's flower shop that's in The Wire was, at the end of our road, essentially. So, yes, we have seen many locations from The Wire. Brian Freeman's car is fucked, and he's not driving to Baltimore. Brian, we need to get you a lift, buddy. We'll get you a lift.
Somebody pick up Brian.
Somebody pick Brian up so we can come to the shows. Caitlin, go get Brian. we're putting that one on you, Caitlin. Go grab it.
I'm sure he'll pony up for some gas money.
He will certainly do that.
Although her car doesn't take gas, so.
That's right.
It's like, oh yeah, I would have pitched in on gas, but
you drive a Tesla. Well,
I can pitch in on some electricity.
All right, buddy. Thanks for jumping on tonight. Everybody, thank you for joining us. Please grab your tickets if you can, and also if you haven't, go check out. We have a bunch of merch still available from our adultery stream. I think Todd, I haven't even talked to you about this. I think that that we're gonna do an encore of that stream. Why not? You know,
Sure.
some people that missed it they want to check it out. So, well, I don't know what the cost of that's going to be. It'll be cheap for anyone that bought a ticket. There might be a small fee just for Afton, and then the tickets for people that didn't see it will probably be the same. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But people wanted to see it that haven't seen it. So, and we'll have the Blu-rays in stock here relatively soon, and we'll start to get that stuff shipped out. So thanks for your patience.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for tuning in here to hear two idiots talk about their new album. Love y'all. Hopefully everybody who can make it out to the Baltimore shows makes it out, and we have a nice way to put a bow on 2023. We'll probably book something for next year in the spring. So as soon as we know what's up, we'll let you know. And if you guys could just hit your social media and spread the word about the new Polkadot single and the new Polkadot album, and maybe even mention that we're going to be in Baltimore doing an album release weekend, we would very much appreciate that. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the Where Do I Belong lyric video. And yeah, just please share. Appreciate it. Jason, have a good night. Everybody else, have a lovely evening.
Hey Mike, thanks for helping us out, buddy.
Thanks, Mikey Brooks. Keep me updated on your femur.